completely afterthought shit.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the 6th episode of the Afterburners, your now necessary dietary supplement to the afterthoughts. So if you don't take this with your afterthoughts, you will die.
Very nice. Yes, thank you for that intro.
Today is just going to be Alex and I. Erick might pop in later. Just depends how his schedule looks tonight.
Right, to be determined.
So,
yeah.
Alex, if you want, go
ahead.
Let's,
sure.
Let's talk about this stain on my hat. You know, how it won't come out in the wash.
That's a rough trouble. Some rough trouble.
Yeah,
well, topic discussion for today is talking about talking. So, talking is very interesting.
What the hell are you talking about, dude?
Exactly. But yeah, talking is an important thing, and I think another way to communicate is also communication. And I think talking is a interesting subject, philosophically speaking. And talking about talking is kind of funny, I think. Yeah, let's just kind of delve into this a little bit. It helps to convey information to people, you know, to not only people, but organisms have their own sort of language. It's a form of communication through often sound waves, but often other creatures maybe talk through different mediums, but
through sound
we talk through sound waves. Yes, we emit sound waves.
I just love how scientific it is, rather than just saying, we have vocal cords.
Yes, we have vocal cords, which are muscles, then try to emit certain sound waves.
I think a more head-on approach would be better with it, which is like, why do we talk?
Yeah. No, I'm saying to mostly convey information. Yeah, to convey some sort of information.
But why?
Is the point.
But why? Why is
it
like that?
Information can be useful in terms of survival, right?
Yes,
so you can think of it in terms of that.
Yeah, but information can be passed in numerous different ways. So why is being able to speak, to communicate that, why is that something that we possess? Why is that
interesting.
That's needed?
It's a curious topic. Humans are, we're kind of unique in that light because we have language, and talking is part of language. But there's written language, and then there's verbal language. There's even, the whole emotional landscape, the nonverbal speaking. There's a lot involved in communication, right? All forms of communication. So even other animals, that's what I was saying. Other animals have different forms. So
yeah, but their communication is different because, like birds, for example, they'll chirp and tweet in order to express, "Hey, this is my territory," or "Hey, I'm looking to mate." Why are we not like that? Why do we have a complex system?
Well, it could be just because it developed from basic grunts. Who knows really how it developed, but I think at some point it became useful to be able to communicate at least through basic terms to other members
how they
of the tribe.
Those scientists, they rigged up that mummy to be able to have it in a way talk by manipulating
Well, here's
it.
another question for you, Brian. Okay, is information useful? Because this is also at the heart of what we're talking about.
True.
Is information useful?
Yeah.
There's all sorts of information, like genetic information, right? I think about that. And it's mysterious also because how did the genes, DNA develop? That's kind of tricky. Life is curious in that nature. So, but somehow it works, right? And that's information. And cells have their own information, and multicellular organisms have their own information as well, often stored in some sort of brain. There's so much to life, right? Very curious. But yeah, talking. We're being able to essentially absorb what somebody is saying, but also to process what they've said and to maybe add on to what they have said and reflect it back in some way, or have our own bias towards or opinion towards whatever that is, right?
Okay, so you're more looking at the question of why do we talk as a more of a information based question, and I'm asking it more of a biological aspect.
Well, yeah, I mean that kind of goes with survival again, because we have to
indeed.
survive, and if we can
The
communicate
most
clearly,
knowledgeable are most likely to.
well, things like terror, right, and fear is a very big primal communicator, right? Because you can actually studies show you can smell fear of sweat in people. It's kind of weird. Anyway,
Pheromones.
yeah, pheromones and everything. But essentially, it's a very primal recognizer of danger, right? Of evil, right? Or whatever danger, right? So recognizing that and communicating that clearly is very vital to your survival. Yeah. Or like dangerous berries, you know. So like, oh, you eat this berry, you're not gonna be healthy the next day. Or you eat this berry, you're gonna be fine. It's gonna be good for you.
Right.
So like this, in this sense, it's very useful because now we can classify things, and now we can say this good, this bad, not good, this good, this is good, this is not bad, right? So like, it just kind of helps. And if you know these things, you have a better chance of survival, navigating survival aspects, you know?
Okay, so you know how you said we can free ball?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay,
Yeah, we
this
can.
is a complete side topic, but with what you were saying, but really good thoughts. But you were talking about like, you know, the food that's good to eat and what's not okay to eat. And that's got me thinking, what like foods do you think we have missed out on? Because there's definitely plants and fruits that no longer exist or have gone extinct.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it'd be really interesting, like, you know, I know it's not possible, but if we could somehow step through a door into the past and just catalog everything, that'd be awesome, dude.
Well, here's a cool thought. You know, Jurassic Park, that whole notion where you had the mosquito and you could extract the blood from the mosquito and try to get the DNA. You know, in some sense, that's kind of like plausible. I mean, possible within the realm of capability, which is kind of cool to even think about, right? But you can take this genetic information and try to like reconstruct, you know, like you're in the hypothetical future, you can do crazy stuff, but you can like reconstruct it and make creatures from the past, like a mammoth or whatever.
How would you get the original DNA though?
Well, oftentimes it's like, it's really hard. I mean, it's very rare that we can actually get usable DNA, right? But like the idea is you have a mosquito long ago go to a dinosaur, suck its blood out, right? And you get the DNA of the blood of the dinosaur in the mosquito's sac, and you also got the mosquito has its own DNA. And then it goes in and it gets maybe stuck in like some tree sap, right? Or some like
okay, I was about
honey
to say,
or something.
I was about to say that is a really dumb plot, but then you said sap, and I'm like, oh yeah, duh, amber.
Yeah, amber, right? And then
Stuff
you know
like
over
that.
time, yeah, and then
because that preserves it for. It's
for
crazy how long that shit can
millions of
actually
years,
preserve stuff. It's crazy,
right.
and it's just stuff out coming out of a tree. What?
Yeah, it's amazing,
insane.
Right? Absolutely
and you think
amazing.
that, you know, insects or something would eat that stuff.
Well, yeah, it could gain nutrients, right? You know, from the tree sap as well, or other creatures. I mean, but yeah. I mean, it's very interesting. Anyway, so like you in that way, you can kind of like reconstruct the past from like DNA hypothetically, right? Big hypothetical, but it's kind of a cool idea with the whole Jurassic Park.
So you're saying if we found like It would be
I mean,
really
that's just the
hard for
plot.
any of
That's
that
just the
stuff to
plot
be
of Jurassic
preserved
Park.
because if anything, it would get fossilized. And
Sure,
at
yeah.
that point, you can't extract DNA, I don't believe.
Yeah, it's a very minimal. Yeah, it's not easy to reconstruct
Right.
DNA.
It's possible to get DNA from a fossil. It just depends what is in that fossil. If it's just bone shapes, then nah. Or
But yeah,
bones themselves.
yeah, fun stuff.
You know, that's weird. Why is it always like people are talking about like fossils, or if it's like a symbol of a fossil, it's like dirt with a skeleton removed, but when we actually talk about fossils, it's the actual like bones and imprints and all that.
Well, that's very curious because over time things become fossilized, so bones become the calcium in the bones become fossilized, so they become stones or stone-like, because for them to remain as bones, that just really wouldn't work.
Right.
At least chemically speaking,
Okay.
there's also like pressure, a lot of pressure going on with the dirt that piles on top of it, right? And that's also part of the the sediment resting on top of it, which makes it become rock, and a fossil. But it's cool stuff.
A lot. I want to learn more about dinosaurs, man. Dinosaurs are cool.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
Like, do you what's your thought on the whole like dinosaurs had feathers? Because those.
Oh sure.
They
Yeah.
had feathers.
I think that's pretty. I think that's pretty cool. Yeah. I'm sure they had plenty of colors.
And isn't that
again us?
That's a after 2000s discovery, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. It was hypothesized that they were like, yeah, they probably had that feathers.
1990s. Feathered dinosaur fossils in China in the 1990s. Though evidence of feathers in dinosaurs existed earlier. Oh. In 2011, samples of amber were discovered to contain preserved feathers from 75 to 80 million years ago.
Wow.
How does it last
That's very
that
cool.
long? That's insane.
Yeah, well, once it gets
So
preserved in that
long.
amber, yeah, the amber's like special. Like it's able to like keep things in pretty relatively safe. While the stuff on the outside, it kind of accumulates outside of it.
Do you
right?
think anyone in the medieval times found fossils and they maybe thought that it was like a dead dragon and that's where the dragons we have come from?
I highly doubt it.
It's
a bit of a stretch.
Dragon. Where does dragons come from?
Interesting presumptions. So yeah, dragons kind of okay. When I think about it, I think this is also kind of what Jordan Peterson has claimed as well. But it's essentially what is the most evil or destructive thing you can think about, right? So what can you imagine that is like, terror, right? Terrifying. So that would probably be some sort of like flying reptile, right? Because reptiles are spooky. Flying reptile that breathes fire, because fire destroys things around it, So you can imagine this flying lizard that breathes fire is a very terrifying image.
Some scholars suggest that ancient people may have misidentified dinosaur fossils as dragons.
Oh, I'm sure that's possible too. Yeah.
Bro,
I thought you were talking more so about like a mosquito or something.
Inspired fossilized plants.
Mm-hmm.
A 2020 study suggests that dragons may have originated from carboniferous period plants, specifically Lepidodendron, whose fossilized patterns resemble reptilian scales. And some theories suggest that, lightning and comets.
You also have like kind of more of the eastern dragons that are more serpentine in nature, right? That's where things kind of differ. So yeah, you have like more of a serpent.
Originated in the eastern areas where, Where I mean, it just makes more sense. I think a lot of more reptiles live in those areas anyway.
Well, there's a lot of so
especially the
if we're
larger
talking
ones.
if we're talking more about these are more serpentine in nature rather than like your traditional dragon from like medieval times. So like that kind of distinction is a little bit more delicate because
Are you
the
talking more
serpent.
of like the Chinese dragons?
I'm talking just kind of about like the basic symbolism. I'm trying to go like I just I'm just trying to get the core of the symbolism of what dragons are, and like where they kind of derived from, and like yeah, that's so like the serpent has a lot of significance in culture as well. It goes back very very old times. But yeah, I mean, if you have a flying serpent, that's also there's a lot of symbolism that can be involved here. So
Yeah, because I mean, a lot of religions believe the serpentine to be a symbol of evil, or it can also be a symbol of lust. Yeah, that's definitely significant. But you also have to.
I think it also could represent maybe power, or even there's other
Oh yeah, for
symbolic
sure.
notions of it. But yeah,
It's just in a lot of the art that you see of these like serpents, because like I know like it's just a lot of the time it's just serpentine is always related to bad, evil. In almost all fairy tales, the snake is bad. The snake will trick you. It will come after you. It will do what it needs to in order to eat you or bite you.
right.
And we have a naturally built fear from evolution to be afraid of snakes. And
Absolutely.
it's interesting because in like the eastern part of these like serpent dragons, they seem more noble and like grand and more of a like protective sort of, I guess, spirit or something like that. Like they're more of like a guardian rather than a symbolism of evil in my thought.
If you can control the serpent, then you can control the power. So you want to be able to have an allegiance with the serpent.
True.
To some degree.
Bro, it comes all around full circle. Rocco's basilisk.
Right.
It's all comes full circle. If you control
the Ouroboros.
Snake, you control the power. Yeah, Ouroboros. Dude.
Yeah, that's true.
The Ouroboros of snakes. Because they're all like, you gotta control the snake to control the power, control the serpent. And now we got Rocco's basilisk. We gotta keep a chain on that.
But snakes are very sensitive, right? So there's a lot of lore about snakes as well. So like a snake, it can't really see well. Its eyesight is not as good as humans,
it uses its tongue.
Uses its tongue to smell, right? Yeah, it's like picks up, but it has a very very distinct. It's very subtle. Like it can detect very very subtle changes in chemistry. And it can also
feel vibrations through the ground, which is why like when you're walking through the woods, when it's like snakes live out here. The reason why you don't come across very much is they feel the vibrations of your feet when you're walking,
but
so they scatter away.
In order to make an allegiance with the snake, one must have a calm and subtle nature, right? Think about that. Because if you're erratic and moving, the snakes are going to be like, danger, bite you. But if you're calm and you move like a snake, then they think you're one of them. Just kind of cool. If you're,
you've always seemed to be like interested in snakes.
Yeah. I mean, symbolically,
where does that come from? Like, have you always liked them since a kid, or is it like you like them now because of the symbolism and importance that they have in certain aspects?
Yeah, there's a lot involved. I mean, as a kid, I was terrified of snakes. I mean, to some degree, I still am to today. But
I mean,
it's more of a fascination.
Are dope, but I don't want them crawling all over me.
Yeah, but it's very much like a respect and fascination for the creature. Um, and also there's, okay, there's the traditional snake, and you can, pick apart that analysis, but also think about the poison, right? So if you got a venomous yeah, it's really venomous, I think. So poison is when you eat the snake, you die. But venom is when you coagulate, it's the blood enters the bloodstream. So venom, right? You can actually eat venom and you not die. So another reason why venom is distinct. It's a very precious kind of substance to the snake because it takes a lot of time and energy to make a poison for a snake. So if you don't know, it takes a long time for a snake to accumulate its poison, and it's very vital to it, right? Because once it goes in and uses it, it has to like recharge for a while, so it's vulnerable, right? So it wants to limit that vulnerability as much as possible in forms of nature. So it's kind of like symbolically, it's like the poison is also, you can make an anti-venom from a venom, right? So there's also a light aspect
Oh yeah.
to the poison. So
Did you see that Mr. Beast video?
Hmm.
He visited like the 5 most deadliest places on Earth, and he was on this island where it's just filled with venomous snakes. And what they would do
yeah,
is while they're going around, they're catching them, and each snake that they collect, that they milk this venom from, that's what they call it. It's milking the venom.
Right.
Each I think vial they fill, or each snake, I forget exactly, but it can save up to 1,000 people.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
Just
yeah.
How
it's so valuable, right?
It is.
So it's actually valuable in the real world, right?
It
So
is.
it's literally valuable, but it's also valuable in a more mystical sense as well.
Indeed. I find it very interesting how dangerous creatures, especially these venomous and poisonous ones, that like we want to be able to learn more about that venom and poisons that they have, so that way we're able to better counteract them.
Another cool thing. Think about this other. So there's a toad that is venomous on its skin, and to most creatures it'll do certain things, but to humans,
to us,
we lick it
and
we expect this toad venom, and again. So it has this element of like.
But I think it's because
it's
of how
poison.
Big we are. I bet
the way we metabolize things. Yeah.
Yes, because I'm guessing like if this were to also work the same way on other creatures, because of how small they are compared to how big we are, that amount of venom that they're taking, even though it's the same as us, it's going to be a lot more powerful and more effective on their smaller bodies.
Yeah.
More potent.
Very potent. Yeah.
When for us, we're going to experience a more minor effect. So they're probably tripping balls to such the extent that they just can't do anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're tripping balls,
yeah, and
but
so that's,
you can still walk around and whatever.
That's just so interesting to think about, venom and poison, and and it can have a dual nature. And also, there was this other guy who actually took snake venom and injected into himself a little bit each day for like years, right? And he developed a natural resistance towards it, right? Yeah. So essentially, in that sense, that which kills you makes you stronger, right? If you can heal back from it, you kind of gain a muscle to fight against it, right?
In almost every
so it's like
aspect,
training anything.
Ever since I broke my elbow, you know what? It's actually going to be harder to break this elbow now. The bone that comes back after you break a bone is stronger.
Yeah.
But no, that does not mean you should go around breaking all your bones. So you can have stronger bones.
I think there's some like
cost effective. It's not cost effective.
I think it's like I think it's true to say that, but I think there's like it makes that segment where it broke stronger, but to make the whole bone entirety of the bone stronger, I think it's harder to do.
Yeah.
There's also training that like you can like punch a tree, right? And it will increase the strength and density of the bones over time. It's kind of cool.
yeah.
But enough like small change over time will eventually make the bone density more. But those are like people who train kung
basically
fu or
like an aspect of microevolution. Your body is building up a resistance to it because it's something you're doing, and
like
because it's
fighters
causing
and
damage.
like they kick with their shin, and like often like if I were to kick somebody with my shin, it would like I'd be in pain. Like I'd be in pain because I
But
hurt my
because
shin.
they've
But like
trained
if you've
with doing
trained,
that for so long,
then they got like callus or whatever on that, and so
it's like that.
it's
It's like
just another day.
It's like that one guy. He's like he teaches like some sort of karate, but he has built like this insane resistance to pain in the groin region. So he'll actually straight up like invite students up to just full
just kick
force kick him in the nuts. It's insane.
And he's like, I've seen that.
It's crazy, dude.
It's There's the body. Yeah, the body's a wild thing. It can adapt to an environment, a very hostile environment.
He just stands there taking it. Just keep going, keep kicking. I don't care. It's crazy.
Yeah, wild. But humans, we're wild. We're pretty wild.
Yeah, we are indeed very interesting creatures, and we're just doing what we can to learn more and more about us every day in science and stuff.
I was also thinking about this other concept today. Have you ever heard of DIKW pyramids?
What?
Or the DIKW? It stands for Data, Information, Knowledge, Wisdom, and it's like a pyramid. I think it's also called Knowledge Pyramid.
I thought you were talking like an actual pyramid. I thought we were about to talk about like some sort of conspiracy.
No.
What?
No.
You're talking like it's a triangle like diagram.
Yeah, so essentially it's this notion that says, okay, I also want to shout out to the guy who kind of thought up or publicized it.
The Dick Dub pyramid.
Russell Ackoff, 1989. So yeah, he was, he did some works, and so he said basically data is transformed into information, and then information is transformed into knowledge, and then knowledge is transformed into wisdom, right? And that's kind of like the process. We
collect data, and from data we get the information. From that information we gain knowledge, and that knowledge will then become wisdom.
Yeah, I think it's a very interesting idea. Yeah. So I've been just kind of looking at it recently, and just kind of been thinking about it. The data is just like kind of useless if we are unable to contextualize it, I call it. And actually, I think you can think of context. You gain greater and greater context when you order the data in meaningful ways. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
So, like when you're ordering the data to make sense of it, you're giving more context to the data, because the data normally it doesn't have no context, right? Until you give it context.
Right.
Right. So we're gaining something called context, and maybe we can measure that, right? Maybe we start from zero and we gain more and more and more context, right?
Right.
So we build on further context. But it's kind of a cool notion, because then it means like, okay, we can kind of deepen our context, we can broaden our context, but we have to make sure we have the proper structure for the data, because maybe we influence the data wrong, like, so we bias the data accidentally, right? We accidentally influence the data. Oh no, and we've misinterpreted, and now we have a wrong structure. And if we have a wrong structure, then we're building this, off of false knowledge, right?
Right.
So like it's interesting. We should, because we can get the wrong structures, we can get
Oh,
the wrong
absolutely.
assumptions. So it's not
Absolutely.
always evident that it's right. We have to make sure that it's right. We gotta check. We gotta double check. But yeah, this kind of process is kind of cool.
I
How you
think
can,
I think the main problem of that though is that most people just start at the information step with misinformation.
sure,
Rather than
yeah,
actually looking at the raw data and actually doing
right,
research themselves. They just see
right,
a post on Facebook that says, "Oh, this is true about this," and then they're like, "Oh, well, this has to be true," and it's like, what?
yeah,
Okay, like, yeah, it might be true, but where does that information come from?
yeah. And then we do something
Where's the
called analysis.
what's the context? Where's the
So,
context?
this process of analysis it breaks apart the information into its components, and we're like, okay, is this information valid? Right. So we're looking for validity. So like it's this process of analysis where we can be like, oh no, we break apart that. No, that's not. It's not actually it. You know. But I'm saying, at the heart of this, proper synthesis of information, there's a structure to it, right? And to synthesize that properly is kind of an art form in itself, right? Because that's also in the process of trying to gain the truth of the data, rather than putting our own influence or bias onto the notion, right?
Right.
To really get at the heart of what the data says without much influence, right? Just purely, and there's a proper structure for that. So we find a framework, a structure, we build from that structure and framework that we know to be true, and we synthesize the data into that structure.
Mm-hmm.
And we do that again and again and again to get wisdom, assuming
Right.
all our data is good.
Right.
So,
and wisdom is the purest form of it, because
I would think so. Yeah, it seems to be at the top.
yeah, I think the only way like if anything can be true wisdom is if it like is absolute.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot
And
of
also,
wisdom is in a lot of just like the rules we have for life, like treat others how you want to be treated. That's wisdom because
not
we
to
have
get
seen time and time again it's true.
not to get too biblical, but I know some people will not like me for this, but remember, God kind of explains in the Bible that He is the truth, right?
Yeah.
He is the truth, right?
Of
He is the
course.
way.
Yeah.
He is the way, right?
Yeah.
So He is essentially wisdom in that aspect. He is the purity. He's the purity
Yes.
of embodied knowledge. That's kind of a crazy way to say it, but you have embodied knowledge, and if you extract away all the bias and get to the heart of the purity, then you get this pure wisdom, right? Which is what God is. But he's also not only pure wisdom and life everlasting, right? But he's also love. He is love, which is interesting. Anyway, little side tangent into God. But yeah, I think it's through achieving greater context and proper context, whatever proper context is, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of the heart of that. But I just thought it was kind of cool to kind of delve into a little bit. Any other pointers?
Pointers? What do you mean?
Any other things to say?
No, other than that, I just think it's a really good model. Like it makes it makes sense.
Right.
That
yeah, I love how basic it is. Yeah.
That's how everything like kind of works. That's just how learning is.
Hmm. But I don't think it's always like taught in that structure. But it's good to know that structure, maybe.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Mhm.
If you get a step that's later on in that pyramid, take that step and take it down, see what else, you can gather of that information, So long as,
Mhm.
you find it interesting or you want to know more about it.
Mhm. And also, maybe part of wisdom is where you're sourcing your data. You can source the
True.
data many places.
True. And it's always best to do that as well, so that way you have a good chance of weeding out bias.
Right. Yeah, you want to listen to both sides, I think. Especially when you're like young and trying to figure out the world,
Oh
you
yeah.
want to listen to
I mean
everybody pretty
that's
equally.
how you're going to get the most information. You're collecting more
Hmm.
data that way, which will give you better information.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's
Rather
also
than just
there's something.
listening to one side and taking everything at
Mhm.
face value information, because that's not how
Mhm.
that works.
Yeah, there's something to be said about like experience, and like actually like going in the world and talking to like a bunch of people and like trying to really get down to the truth of both sides rather than some guy who just like
Right.
read somewhere one time, oh, this way was the right way, and then it was like, okay,
Right.
it's two different stories. So like everybody has their own level of analysis
Of
or
course.
own context level of context, right? So you can have higher levels of context. You can think in high levels of context or think in low levels of context. So yeah, you know
I
it's
believe
interesting to
another
think about.
problem with that as well is that, like, a lot of people seem to be afraid of arguing because they don't like to
Mm.
upset, fight, or argue. When in reality, like debates and stuff like that, yes, it's a conflict, but no, it's not always bad. It's not always troublesome. It's not. It's almost, if it's done correctly, it is always constructive,
Right.
and it is good, and it is healthy, because if you're just in a screaming match, all you're doing is saying your point over and over and over again without backing it up because you're mad at what the other person's saying. That's not productive at
That's
all.
not
But
communication.
when
Yeah.
you go, I believe this because of this, you're giving data and reasoning to this other person that you're in a debate
Hmm.
with. You're trying, rather than just saying, I believe this and so should you, you're explaining
Hmm.
why you believe what you do. And they
Hmm.
can go, oh, I've never looked at it that way or thought about it that
Hmm.
way. Or they might say, I see your point, but here's what I think about it, or here's what I've seen that kind of contradicts that point. And from there, we
Hmm.
can then talk about what we think about it.
Here's another cool thing. So like we can get into the idea of like freedom and freedom of will because everybody has their own right to their own opinion, right? So like we have that
Oh, of
freedom
course.
to have discord, verbal discord, and people can say exactly what they want to say, and we don't really censor that. We will allow it because we know that it's just it's in like an inherent freedom to be able to convey your thoughts and speech and ideas into the world without resistance, without regulation, because
I think that's
um,
why a lot of people have like such inflated egos too. Is because
sure.
I have the free will, so I'm able to construct myself however I see fit. And then you've also got people who will go, well, I don't want to be blamed for my problems. I'm a Scorpio. That's why I'm the way I am. It's dodging responsibility, and it's because you have
Hmm.
such a big ego that you can't accept that you have flaws. When in reality, the best part of anyone's ego, I believe, is to know that you have flaws and to embrace those flaws. Overcome those flaws. Don't let those flaws
Hmm.
control you. Your
Yeah, I
your
think
ego is a part of you, and it's good to have a healthy ego where you like yourself.
Yeah.
But you
Yeah,
shouldn't
I like what you say.
think that you
I
are
like what you say
perfect.
about that. Right, yeah. And we can kind of define a healthy ego to some respect, you know,
Oh, yeah.
and what, you know, maybe the scaffolding of what that is. But yeah,
There's a definite difference between thinking and saying and knowing that you're good at something and saying, thinking, and knowing that you're the best at something. Those are two different ways of looking at the same thing. One's a more inflated ego. It's where you are saying, I am the best because I can't make mistakes.
Here's
I
another
would like
key
to say I'm
element.
the best Magic player, but I still make mistakes in the games. But I consider myself a good Magic player because I've won games.
So
I've done good plays.
I would say you personally have a high self-awareness of your being, right? So that's really good, right? So like
It's good to have
essentially,
self-awareness.
yeah. So like awareness in itself is kind of neat. So like I can be like aware of stuff externally and like of my environment, which is like
Because of
useful,
senses.
you know. Yeah, I can like gain cool stuff from the environment,
And
interact with
that's your
it, you know.
primary source of all information is external.
I can focus really hard on something, like so like if I'm hunting, right, and I have to be really quiet, I have to focus like really intensely, right, and I have to be like I have to time everything perfectly, right, so I have to be very coordinated, so like I gotta be focused up, right. So that's part of like you know, external, you know, integrating my being with the external properly to some degree. So it's an awareness of the external, right? Okay. I can also be aware of other people, you know, again, that's all external. I know about them, and maybe I know about them internally. So I have some framework of like, you know, their story. It might not be perfectly accurate. It might be some rough scaffolding, but it could be more distinct if we know them for a long time. Anyway, so but we get down to awareness closer and closer, and then we can go into self, right? So oftentimes that's a skill in itself. Some people are highly motivated by the external world. They only really care about the external world. That's fine, you know. If that's what you want to do, great, you know. But I think some self-awareness is needed. I do think that even if it's small, it can just be, you know, I don't know, just making sure to review your actions once in a while and say, is this really like, you know, a healthy time to like be doing these actions, right? So, and then you can also be very aware in each moment, right? So that you can have a hyper awareness if you want, right? You could be like almost schizophrenic, like just be like aware of everything internally, you know, all the time, and not even focused on the external. You're just like yeah. you're thinking about thoughts internally, and you know, you're like manic to some degree, right? So you know, there's different levels to the awareness argument. So I think having a good balance of maybe where you are externally, maybe where you are internally, have, you know, being able to heal internally, not be in conflict with yourself. You know, that's a big part of it, and bringing awareness to if there's conflict, right? So part of that is just if recognizing, hey, is there internal conflict going on within me? You know, if there is, okay, figure it out, accept it. You know, realize it, work through it, try to resolve it. You know, interact with it. You know, so like these different exercises to like help resolve the conflict within you and hopefully even out some stuff, you know.
I just kind of want to stay on this topic for a little bit longer because it's definitely just interesting. Do you think there's more people who are aware of their surroundings than people who are more self-aware?
It's a tricky one.
Because when you were talking about the whole external, you know, all these external things, there's so much external stuff that it becomes
a whole world, you could say.
It becomes it becomes distracting, and
a whole
I
universe,
think that would lend it to being more difficult to becoming self-aware and looking more inward because there's just
So you're saying there's a lot of
externally.
distractions.
Yeah, oh yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. There's tons.
Yeah. Oh, most certainly. Okay, yeah. So that's a big point. So like having enough calmness or peace or stillness to be able to take the time to be internally aware is maybe needed to be able to cultivate, because again, external stuff happens all the time, and if we're just bombarded with stuff all the time and we don't have space to create that more internal space, where we can really tune in to our internal awareness. It takes, time and effort, and you gotta like focus, and maybe you'll have more, some days you'll have more effect than other days. Some days may be rough and you might not get anywhere, where other days you're just flying through it. But you have to create that sort of space environment for that to happen. Yeah, or be able to tune out enough, whatever. So
I think that's why like your whole aspect with meditation is really good, because you're taking time to literally block out all the external factors that may be distracting and really just taking that time to delve into yourself.
Yeah, and it can be very emotional too, because
Of course.
oftentimes we can be ignoring so we can be suppressing certain things and maybe not even realize it. So like, being very sensitive to things, being very vulnerable, oftentimes when people meditate, even myself included, you start just crying. You're like, I don't even know why I'm crying, but I am, It's like you start delving into even the body, and you kind of come into touch with like, I don't know, you just like sensations in the body. Like you have a certain level of awareness to your like kind of metabolism as it's kind of like moving, or you just kind of slow down, and you become aware of your breathing, and it's like, again, if your mind is working like at a fast rate, this sort of thing is going to be uncomfortable, because your mind is used to moving at a fast rate, and you want to move at a fast rate because it's heavy. It's heavy when it moves.
Yeah.
So, but if you can take the minute to slow down, and actually allow that to happen, then it becomes very nice and peaceful, Yeah.
And I will
So I think
say, like, if you want to start meditation, it is going to be hard at first, because you're so used to constant hits of dopamine to always have something preoccupying your brain. The attention span. It really becomes a
our
challenge.
brains are hard
you
wired.
just like start small. Take 20 minutes, 10 even, just out of the day, and just sit down. Close your eyes, take breaths, think about, things that you did throughout the day, maybe why you did them, whatever it is that, you want to do during that time, as long as it's about yourself. Might seem a little egomaniacal, but what you're trying to do in this is you're trying to get a deeper understanding of yourself, which is very important if you're wanting to become self-aware.
Here's another crazy thing, is that healing takes many forms, right? For one person, they might heal differently than another person, right? But it's also about recognizing, okay, do I got anything going on in here, right? Really being honest with yourself. So you're not lying. You're being hyper honest. You're being hyper honest.
And remember, it's just you and yourself. You're allowed
and you
to
don't
be
have
completely
to
honest. Admit your faults.
You don't have to tell anybody about, your inner meditations, of course, without your consent. But yeah, you get to, well, again, here's another crazy thing. We spend most of the time of our lives with our own being.
Yep.
We spend very little time in comparison with other people.
You are stuck in this bitch.
Yeah. I think as long as you can think of it as I'm stuck, you can think of it in that light, or you can think as like, I can embrace this. Maybe I'm not stuck. Maybe I can be, further in this, But framing, being stuck or having a friendship with your being is important. So I think maybe the relationship you have with other people are unique, and because your mom and dad's relationship to you is different than how you feel against your girlfriend, and it's also different than how you feel against your cousins. I hope this is so. Yeah, you have these distinctions in love, and there's different kinds of love, but maybe self-love, gets kind of put on the back burner. So I think if we have more awareness of this, and if we can do the things to heal internally, in a healthy way, I think it's all beneficial. For the self and for people around you, because again, the more healed you are as a being, people recognize that, and people are like, hey, this guy's pretty chill. So okay.
This guy's pretty chill. Erick hopped straight in. He's like, hey, heard you were talking about me.
Yeah, we're talking about you, Erick.
All right.
Talking about me?
How we doing?
You're a chill guy.
No. We were talking, and Alex said, such a cool guy, and you literally popped in right as he said it. So yeah, we're talking about you. How you doing, Erick?
Yeah. What's up?
I'm pretty chill.
I'm just a chill guy.
Chill guy, What are you guys talking about?
Some cool stuff. I think we started off with talking about talking. It was pretty funny.
Oh,
We delved into like communication and like different
I was thinking about
level,
that too.
different levels of awareness and context and stuff, and
Yeah.
that kind of thing. But yeah, fun stuff.
Awareness is very important.
You want back?
Oh, yo.
Oh yeah, we were talking about snakes too, and symbolism.
Snakes?
So-
Like Orochimaru?
Sure. Yeah. So like, what do you think about snakes? Like, do you like snakes? Do you think they're cool?
I don't fuck with snakes. They freak me out, bro. Not gonna even
A
gonna
little
lie.
spooky. Yeah.
They're a little
But
freaky. But
You
they're
you
cool.
find them
Cool.
you find them fascinating, or like kind of
Yeah,
interesting?
yeah, for sure. They are very fascinating, but they also like, whew, you know.
Yeah, no, I got you. But yeah,
So,
we kind
yeah.
of went.
I like snakes. They're cool. I wish I could like them,
Yeah.
but they
No,
just freak me out so much.
they're slithery. Yeah.
Dude, they feel so weird. I don't like it.
You think they feel weird?
Yeah, they're too smooth. It's too smooth, bro.
Oh, I enjoy how smooth they are. I've had snakes crawl, misteleport.
Yeah, I remember when I was in elementary, we went to like
I
the
miss
zoo or some
mistelep.
shit, and the lady brought the snakes out at the zoo and shit. It was like a petting zoo or some shit.
Mhm.
But I touched the snake and I freaked out. I was like,
But yeah, we were mainly talking about that because that's like Alex's favorite animal, and I was just wondering if that
Yeah,
was like
I like it.
his favorite animal.
oh,
as
really?
a
That's your
kid.
favorite animal?
Probably, yeah. I mean, I like other animals too,
Like,
a lot.
what was your favorite
I like
animal
giraffes.
as a kid?
I loved I
Oh,
loved cats. I always loved cats I love cats.
dude,
love every
yeah.
kind of cat.
As a kid, I really loved cats,
eHarmony
and
girl.
I also really liked giraffes as well.
Oh wow, yeah, I also really
I
like
had a
giraffes.
lot of giraffe stuffed animals when I was.
I
a
like
baby.
zebras.
And
I like zebras and I like tigers.
Ooh,
Hell
tigers.
yeah!
Tigers were the bomb, bro. Dude, especially the white tigers. That was my favorite
Yeah.
Oh,
animal.
dude, white tigers
awesome.
are so pretty too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Gorgeous creatures. But
I love to just kind of like admire nature. It's
Oh,
just
yeah.
so like a lot of beauty, in
nature's
that.
Oh, yeah.
so beautiful. But
Mhm.
with like how you said now that you like snakes because of like you have more understanding and stuff. That's why like for me same thing. That's why like my new favorite animal is the octopus because the octopus is
Mm.
insane.
It is
It
really
is
super cool.
so
Yeah,
cool.
the way it like morphs and like
Dude,
goes
it
through
has
still
3 different
problem
layers of
solves.
camouflage. It can literally
Yeah.
like give itself
Doesn't it have
texture.
like eight
Really?
hearts or something or
It
whatever?
has 9
Nine
brains.
hearts.
9
Oh, it's got like
brains.
nine. Oh
I think
wow,
it
yeah.
has 3 hearts.
Three
It's
hearts?
crazy.
Really?
Yeah,
Yes.
octopus. Very
That's
cool.
not crazy. Some animals
Very
are just
very
like
cool.
biologically, they're
No, 2
very interesting.
hearts. Oh yeah, no, 3
Oh, two
hearts.
hearts.
2
Oh,
branchial
three.
hearts that pump blood through the gills, and 1
Wow,
systematic heart that circulates blood throughout the body. Yeah, 3 hearts.
amazing.
But it does have 9 brains, and the reason why is because it has 1 big brain, and each of its
Mm.
legs has its own brain. Each of its legs can think independently on its own.
Wow,
That's why it can never get
that
tangled
is
up in itself.
crazy.
It's because each tentacle literally has the brain capacity for that spatial awareness. So that way,
Wow,
that like
it
that's
just
why the
knows.
octopus never
Yeah,
gets tangled up and stuff. It's
That's
so
kind of crazy.
that's so
it is.
fascinating,
It
dude.
is. Octopi are insane. They
Hmm.
feel pain, similar to how we feel pain.
Hmm.
Just like
Wow.
I believe a lot of crustaceans, also, which
Mhm.
makes me sad
Mhm.
because they taste so good, but man, killing them is so cruel. Uh, Octopi also can plan ahead if they know they're going to be going
Really?
out and yes, if
Wow.
they know they're going out into open sea, they will take an empty coconut shell or something similar with them in order to give themselves defensive cover.
Wow.
Mm,
They
That's really
are
cool.
insane. 3 layers of camouflage. The first
Right.
that
well,
changes
with
color,
the with
the
8 brains,
next
I'm sure they thought of everything.
Texture, right?
yep. Yes, because how
Color,
it goes is first
texture.
is color, then the shade of that color through the pigmentation,
Oh,
which is the second one.
shade.
And then its third layer literally lets it transform its skin to
Yeah,
become
texture.
rocky and textured
Yeah,
to blend
yeah,
in with almost anything.
yeah.
It just
That's
sucks
awesome.
because the average lifespan of an octopi is 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Which
Such an
sucks
amazing
because
animal.
I would love to own an octopus, but man, I don't know if I have the money
Only
for
two
that.
years.
But yeah, and
Yeah,
it would only be
expensive
the 2
and yeah,
years.
that's rough.
Yeah, and I'd grow so attached to it, it would just break my heart every 2
Hold up.
years. Because I'd just be like, no, I want another one.
It's just
I need
Jimmy. You
something.
just replace Jimmy
Yeah.
before you get somebody. You hire somebody to do the dirty work, and you're like, it's just Jimmy.
You gotta switch them out and not let me know.
You gaslight yourself into believing.
You just start
He's like, look, man, I'll pay you. I don't want to know about it.
Also, the octopus can fit through any space its beak can fit through because almost every other part of its body is very squishy, jelly, squeeze. It's insane.
Amazing.
Because the beak's the only hard part. That's the only thing that can't be like squeezed down
Yeah.
or anything.
Right. Yeah, it's got to be able to fit through there. Yeah. But
I really like the story of the octopus at this aquarium or zoo or research center or something, but he would escape every night, go into the other tanks, eat some fish, and then he would close the fish tank back up, get back into his own tank, and close it up. And none of the scientists knew
whoa,
until they installed cameras and watched it overnight.
wow.
They are very intelligent creatures, and they're just so cool too with everything that they can do. I love octopi. They're just
I think yeah.
amazing.
Another thing to recognize is just how much inherent intelligence is within nature, and maybe giving credit to like all the intelligence that nature provides naturally. We think us humans are like, we're amazing. No doubt. But we should also recognize other creatures' amazing qualities.
And by octopi, I do mean octopuses.
Yeah.
It is not octi. It is octopuses. I'm sorry. That slips because I've been it's been instilled. I've been brainwashed.
It's also Uranus, not Uranus.
Yeah, Uranus. But there's a lot of
unless
words.
unless you're classy.
I think for cactus, it's also cactuses. I don't think it's cacti.
I know fish is fishes. Multiple fishes. Many fishes.
Oh no. I mean they're both accepted, both are correct.
Yeah.
But
one's more
cacti
correct.
is sometimes preferred in formal or scientific context.
Yeah. Many cacti. That's a cacti if I ever
But the
seen
whole reason
one.
why is if the root of the origin of the word is Latin, then it's a I. Like
Latin.
Cacti, because cactus is Latin.
Mm-hmm.
Probably
Illuminati.
means, the Illuminati. Yeah, that's a crazy group, man.
Anyway.
How do they get new members when the old ones die off? Like, how?
I'm sure they do recruits.
If it does exist,
you gotta be smart enough.
How has it been like so well kept? Like, because Illuminati, the whole thing of it is all conspiracy. It's just like, well, there's this and this and this, which must mean there's an elite, group controlling everything, pulling the strings.
Some people believe that there's a hermetic tradition, and these people can believe that the Illuminati is a branch of this hermetic tradition. And in order to get into this Illuminati, one has to be able to prove themselves intellectually prowess enough, or to be able to do hermetic rituals, like magic.
Baby blood.
To be able to get into
Stay young.
That's more demonic. That's demonic, right?
Okay.
So it's just kind of a conspiracy, but they find you because you stand out.
They're gonna get one of us. Probably they got Zach.
There you got Zach, yeah.
Yeah, they got Zach. They took him.
They for sure got Erick.
Yeah, that's why Erick's silent right now. He's communicating.
Yeah, that's why he's uncomfortable to talk right now.
Yeah, unmute yourself. Come back and talk. Okay, yeah. That makes you look less guilty.
I don't know what happened, but I'm definitely guilty of it.
Okay. You don't know what happened. All right, Mr.
I wasn't here. Okay, so my roommate just got back home.
Oh, okay.
Oh, nice.
So I was talking to him about what happened at work.
Oh, okay.
That's what happened.
Say so.
Oh my god.
Shut up, Brian.
Illuminati's always got a cover story. They always have one.
Oh my god.
We were just saying, how Erick is definitely part of the Illuminati. We were talking about the Illuminati. He's like, yeah, for sure Erick's part of it, right?
Yeah, because we already know who
I am.
Zach is. That's why he's not here. That's
why I got the struggle going, man.
It's a struggle.
When you're in the Illuminati, you gotta make sure nobody knows you're Illuminati. Okay.
Right. You're terrified because you don't ever let your secret go.
Yeah.
But you could also you could also show off at parties, right? Be like, yeah, I'm part of it.
That's why I got the chain, bro. The Illuminati gave me the chain.
Why else would you join if you
and one thing about the Illuminati that you need to know is that you don't let people know that you're in the Illuminati. Alright, take it from someone who's in the Illuminati.
Yeah, that's like rule 1. It's like, don't tell anyone.
Oh, fuck up.
Rule 1 Fight Club. You don't talk about Fight Club.
All right.
Rule 2 Fight Club. Why are you still talking?
Never talk.
Close the door now.
What? Sock on the
Nah,
doorknob.
but- Oh, slob, I'm on now. Going on a cow.
Then do your job.
Bitch, do your job.
Break
Man.
it down. Let's go.
We're gonna get canceled.
Alright, what else do you want to talk about?
Yeah, edit that part out.
I don't know if I
We'll
can
get
make
that in
promise.
Oh my
Oh
god.
man. Nah, you know what? You should keep it all raw. Keep that in there. I don't want no edits, bro. Keep it fresh.
Raw. All raw.
I got it marked in my notes. Hour 10. Raw.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm speechless, dude. I don't know what to say now. That took all my brain away, dude. That debrained me. Anti neuron.
The brain rot has caught up. From all those episodes ago, it's
You must be
it's
from Ohio.
been taking its toll.
This is dying over there.
God damn. Man, we don't deserve AI, dude.
So true, though. So true.
That's good. Oh,
Man,
jeez. I mean, we can rap if you want.
I'm chilling.
Oh man.
Give me a minute
What
to
were
come
you
up
guys
with a
doing today?
genius.
What'd you guys do today?
I did my yoga.
Oh yeah.
I did a lot of contemplation.
On what? What did you contemplate today? What did you
I was
ponder on?
I was talking to Brian about the DIKW pyramid method.
The what?
Stands the DIKW. It stands for
Yeah,
data
KGB.
No, the dick dub.
Oh, the dick dub. You're right.
Yeah.
How did I miss that, man?
Yeah.
Of course.
DIK dub, dick dub.
Or the KGB dick.
KGB.
It stands for data, information, knowledge, and wisdom, right? So
Mhm.
it talks about how data
Is
transforms.
it a theory or what is it?
It's just like a thought
Concept or
experiment.
what?
It's a model of thought.
Yeah, it's like the model of thought, like
A thought model.
kind of
Okay.
like a theory, but also like a truism.
So you
Mhm.
collect all this raw data, and from that data, you're able to form information. And with this information, you're able to gain knowledge. And eventually, if this knowledge is correct and absolute, it becomes wisdom.
If
Yes.
you properly structure it, right, to gain
Yeah, that makes sense.
greater context, right? Just kind of like a working theory with like raw data basically has no context. You don't, it just doesn't mean anything, right? But until you properly give it the good context, well then now the data is meaningful. So it creates value from like stuff, greater value, sort of. Anyway, cool stuff.
Yeah, I mean that's interesting. Yeah, like yeah, like the idea that wisdom comes from like events in your normal life. That's interesting. Like I don't know, like thoughts about like what am I trying to say here? Life teaches you a lot,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's through events or whether it's through word.
Mm-hmm.
Life is always teaching you stuff.
Oh yeah,
Right.
for sure.
Yeah, very
Life
true.
full of lessons, man.
Lifelong lessons.
Hmm. Another, maybe to add to that, maybe we can be aware of those lessons, but
Oh
or
yeah,
we could be
Mhm.
unaware of those lessons.
yeah. And
So like,
if you're not aware of the lessons, then you
Mhm.
just keep making the same mistakes.
But until we're ready to accept the awareness of it, we won't be able to learn from it because we're
Yeah,
not paying attention.
yeah, something like that. Yeah,
I
yeah.
called
Alex,
off.
So,
I called off work today and went to the doctor for my shoulder.
Mm.
oh, what happened?
How'd that go?
I went and I missed the cutoff by 2 minutes, so I had to come back later in the day. So
Oh
I
my.
went back, and they got me in. They took some X-rays, and I
Okay.
told them everything that was going on. I'm having pain. Reaching it out. Like right now, there's pain, and raising
Oh
it is
yeah,
pain. Yeah, just in the
Mhm.
shoulder, but
because it
bones
was a
are all
bad
good.
fracture, right?
Huh?
It was a fracture.
No,
It was a
you're
break.
thinking about my elbow.
Oh, what are you talking
This
about
is
then?
my shoulder.
Oh,
Yeah, I've
is it
been
related to your
getting
elbow though?
no,
Oh,
Different
but
problem.
in the X-rays,
oh okay.
everything was fine, and the
Mm.
doctor he was like, like everything that he thought it could be the problem just didn't seem at all likely, or
Yeah.
with everything that was
Mm.
going on, it just didn't seem like a possibility. So he told me to do 3-3-3, which is 3 ibuprofen 3 times a day for 3 weeks.
Mm.
So he literally told me to take a bunch of ibuprofen and push through it.
Wow.
I'm like, all right, I
Fun.
can do that. And he just said, before our follow up appointment, if it's all good, I'll call in, cancel it because it healed on its own. But if it does
Mm.
continue, I will call him and let him know, hey, uh,
Mm.
I'm having these,
Do they
problems.
recommend any
Is
sort
it
of like
intermittent or is it like constant pain?
Like right now, it's fine. It's if I'm like
Oh, if
straining
you
this
overexert
muscle
yourself?
right here. Yes, yes. But if I'm using this muscle right here, like to stretch my arm out, it hurts.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
did
And
the
what kind of pain is it? Is it like a sharp pain, like a dull pain?
Uh, I would say on a scale of 1 to 10, the pain is like maybe a 5. But at the same time,
That's
I'm
not.
also on 2 ibuprofen right now,
Oh, okay. So yeah, it would
and
hurt more if you didn't have anything.
and
So.
I don't know if if the arthritis, because I took the arthritis ibuprofen I have because that really helped with my elbow because joint pain. But I don't think this is from the joint. I think the doctor said it's from my clavicle.
did the doctor recommend any sort of physical therapy for you?
No, that's more of a
Like hand thing or like a foot thing?
well, if I actually seriously hurt my shoulder, then
Mm-hmm.
yes. If it's to the point to where you need sort of rehabilitation, then yes, physical
Right.
therapy is usually recommended. But
Can you
because
Mm.
move
this is
your
more of a, you probably just have like the pain of a injury that you don't know how you
Mhm.
Yeah,
got from
acute
like
pain
maybe
rather
running wrong
than
or something. So just
Yeah.
push through it. But if it does seem to get any worse, or if it still hurts after a couple weeks, then
Mhm.
we'll have to do some more things about it to see what is the actual problem if that's not it.
Right.
But so far
Is
with what
your
we know, that seems to be the possibility.
is your mobility limited on one side?
It's pretty good for a while, but then eventually it's like it hurts too much. I can't do this, and like I start tearing up because it
Right,
just hurts
right.
that much.
The pain,
Especially
yeah.
at work because we're doing heavy pieces right now. So like
Mm.
ooh, yeah.
I'm literally having to do 4 times the work in the same amount of time, so it's really put me into overdrive.
Well, have you told your boss about your medical?
My boss knows that I called off today to go to the doctor about it, but so hopefully, if anything, she'll give me help tomorrow. As long as I
how
have
is your
help.
boss?
She's good. She's chill. It's just sometimes she has to be hard on us, and it's not because she wants to. It's because she's getting a lot of shit from the higher ups. And
I get that.
Right.
And the higher ups have never done any of the actual fucking work at the job ever in their lives, so they actually have no concept of how anything works or how anything in the process goes, or
That's how
has
my
any
factory job
idea
is.
of how hard. It's just those need to be double sided. How about you come over here and double side them yourself, dick?
Yeah.
Like how about you experience how hard it is and then understand, oh, one person doing it all by themselves is kind of a fee on its own. They should have help so that way we can guarantee that we have those double-sided. Wow, that's a great idea. It's fantastic that you can come up with this when you actually use your fucking brain.
They only care about money, bro.
Yeah, no, that's the entire thing. They don't care.
Yeah, I know.
It pisses me off because you're caring about a bottom line, but you're not caring about how that bottom line is getting achieved, which is one of the worst mistakes you can make when running a business. If you want that bottom line met, make sure it is getting met in a actual reasonable fashion rather than saying that needs to be done, so therefore they need to do it. That's not how it works.
Right. Yeah, well, I mean, okay, here's another interesting, cool thing we can delve into a little bit is, different interpretations of business, right? Because you have the classical business is business, right? It's just business, man. Don't get all emotional about it, right? It's just paper, man, right? But then you have the other people,
relationships, business is relationships, basically.
Yeah. So you have those other people that are thinking, well, I want my product to be good, I want my customer to be satisfied, Yeah. And that's a kind of different kind of businessman, right?
Yeah.
But both have certain ways they view it, right?
Ups and
because
downs.
the one is just like, oh, it's just all business, right? I don't really, he's not concerned. But then the other, he's concerned about his customers, right? And he cares about his foundation and everything, right? So you can be on that spectrum, it can be kind of in the center, you can be all the way on one side, all the way on the other, whatever. But fun thought experiment, interpretations of business, right? And also, relationships are in a kind of business transaction to some degree.
Yeah, it's just if doing this work hurts my shoulder anymore and actually puts it in a bad position, there's going to be hands thrown. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
Because I can't, after the elbow, financially, bro, I was not good. And I'm now at a spot to where I'm able to actually save money every week. So I actually can start saving up and actually have safety net and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't be out again because I'll have to use all my funds and then I'm back to broke. And
that would suck.
I also hate putting that strain on my girlfriend because it's just it's not fair.
It's a lot.
Yeah, it sucks. It's a difficult situation for everybody.
For sure.
But
I trust the doctor. His name was Brian, although it was spelled incorrectly.
With a Y?
Yeah. So,
with a Y. Brian with a Y.
Yeah, I'll take ibuprofen tonight, and then later on tomorrow I'll take even more.
His parents didn't love him. They called him Brian.
Hey, maybe he thinks the other way is the incorrect way, know?
Well, that's
maybe
wrong,
he,
wrong,
in his
bro.
perspective, oh.
Nah, bro, he's just wrong.
But he grew up his whole life thinking the right way was Brian with a Y.
Why is the movie Life of Brian spelled Brian? Explain that one. Explain that.
That's one movie.
It's pretty well known.
Yeah.
There are many ways to say Brian.
It's a classic. Oh, I also highly recommend watching it. We should watch that for movie night. Anyway, thank you everybody for watching this fantastic episode of the Afterburners. If you did enjoy, please let us know by dropping a like. Leave a comment. Let us know what you liked about it. And subscribe to stay up to date with more Afterthoughts and Afterburner episodes of all the silly stuff and serious stuff and deep stuff that we talk about. Just stuff upon stuff. All sorts of different kinds of stuff. So hopefully we'll eventually talk about something that strikes your interest. So stay subscribed for whenever that happens. If you have any questions for us, you make fan mail of Alex and I kissing or whatever, go ahead and send that to snazzyyogi@gmail.com. That's in the bottom. Yeah, and links to all of our other channels and stuff will also be down there, so be sure to check those out, especially if you have a favorite host, Zach. So go check them out. And yeah, we'll see you in the next one. So keep cool until then.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Yes. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.